And we also have a decision to make. Do we keep the shirts till Columbus Day, or is it after Labor Day? Because remember, we had some really hot meetings in September.
Columbus Day, I'm good.
Burn the shirts, guys.
I think Columbus Day is really like the end of.
Yeah. Is it? Because September is so hot sometimes, you know?
We only have one.
Because it's
we
so
only have
chilly
one
in here
meeting.
now.
That works for me.
Welcome to the Vaven Board of Selectmen meeting for Monday, August 29, 2016. We'd like to start out the meeting with a moment of silence for Clark H. Rees. He's the father of Mark Rees, our town administrator, who passed away over the weekend, and that is the reason why our town administrator is not with us tonight for our meeting. So let's have a moment of silence for Clark Rees. Thank you. Selectman Essendola, do you have anything to?
No, just, we all know it's a tough time when something like that happens, and condolences to Mr. Reese and his family. You know, he was very close with his dad from talking to him, so wish the family the best in this tough time.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I did have a conversation with Mark, and his father was very important to him, and as he should be, and I feel for him. Hopefully he's comes back when he's ready.
Mr. Bryan.
The town hall actually collected a donation to the Midland, per request of the Reese family, the Midland School of New Jersey. It's actually a school for children with learning disabilities, so
Yeah,
their special learning challenges.
I'd like to get that information.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after.
Now if we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is being broadcast and taped by the Government Access Channel. Any member of the public also has a right to make an audio or video recording of the open session of this public meeting. A member of the public who wishes to record this meeting must first notify the chair and must comply with any reasonable requirements so as to not interfere with the meeting. The chair is required to inform other attendees of any such recording at the beginning of this meeting, and we are recording from the office here. So, under A, minutes, and B, town administrator's report, we're going to go right into C, action. Approve poll workers for September 8th, 2016 state primary. And just to remind our people, our voters, in town of Fairhaven, that there is a primary, a state primary, on September 8th. So we are to approve the poll workers. For precinct 1, I'll do all the precincts, and then if we can have a motion. Okay. Precinct 1, Bernadette Costa, Janice Rose, George Diggle, Terrence Meredith. Precinct 2, Mary Cunha, Elaine Burgo, Christine Alphonse, Carol Foto. Precinct 3, Lee Bashan, Mary Grace, Sandra LeBlanc, Ann Ellis. Precinct 4, Linda Therian, Pamela Green, Nancy Perry, Catherine Delano Calmari. Precinct 5, Diane Rocha, Elaine Rocha, Kathleen Audette, Rebecca Baker. Precinct 6, Joan Mello, Sandra Melanthi, Beverly Johansson, Michelle Letts.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the aforementioned poll workers.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. And voting on September 8th, since the state primary, I believe, begins at 7 a.m.
It does.
7 a.m. So you can go before work. Okay, let's see. My agenda right here. Next, we have the United Way permission to use Town Hall Auditorium on September 14, 2016 for campaign kickoff party. The request for rental fee waiver and for one-day beer and wine license previously approved for September 15th. The request is to change the date.
Mr. Chairman, it's all the same. You've already approved the waiver of the rental fee. They just want to change it from the 15th to the 14th.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the date change.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Now, on 3, we'll be doing an application for a one-day all alcohol license for Down the Hatch.
And for also on September 17th, Saturday, September 17th, there'll be a special one-day all alcohol license request for fundraiser to benefit also the Kennedy Donovan Center at Bayside. And I apologize to you because I just got confused when I saw Kennedy Donovan. I thought it was in duplicate, but it was actually 2 different applications. So everything's here, the liability certificate's here. Third-party permit has been signed by the police department and they're tip certified. So they've met all the same requirements as the other establishment.
So the fundraisers are both for the Kennedy Donovan Center, to benefit the Kennedy Donovan Center and the good works that they do. So everything's been approved, and so we'll take a motion individually. We'll take a-
One is a little different because it looks like Down the Hatch is looking for a waiver of parking fees.
Okay,
So you might want to take them individually.
okay. So for the first one, of Down the Hatch, for the Kennedy Donovan Center, I could believe they're gonna be doing a boat run, I believe, is what they told me, and, so they'd like to waive the fees for that day. And I believe we've done this before, so it would be a fee waiver for the whole day.
For everyone.
We
For
did-
everyone. So it wouldn't be any adjustment. Selectman Bell?
I was gonna say, I think that was for the regatta down there,
Yeah.
that we did that, so we've established a bit of a precedent for that. This is you know, all the proceeds go to that, so I'd be in favor.
Second. Definitely in favor for it too, yes.
Okay. All right, it's a great organization. I know Heidi very well, and I know Heidi very strong compassion for people with disabilities, and it's something that I would definitely support.
Absolutely.
So, is there a motion to approve the special of one-day all alcohol license and, no parking fees for Down the Hatch for
September
For
10th.
Hawkins Landing for September 10th.
Hawkins Landing,
for all
September 10th.
parking vehicles.
I'd like to make that motion.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Now, we also have another request for the Kennedy Donovan Center for Saturday, September 17th, a one-day all alcohol license for the Bayside. And once again, they've all met certification and availability is okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the one-day all alcohol license for the Bayside.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Some good events coming up. We encourage everyone to go to these events also to support this great cause for the Kennedy Donovan Center. Next, we have a request from Carol Ann Days Merrill to hold the annual turkey trot on November 24th, 2016. And she writes, the Turkey Trot Committee is interested in getting permission from the town of Fairhaven to host the 6th annual Turkey Trot 5K run. The race is held on Thanksgiving morning, November 24th, 2016 at 8 a.m. The race starts outside the Namaski Group on Bridge Street and Green Street and will head straight down Green to Fort Phoenix. Then runners head up Fort Street, past the marina, and a water stop to Main Street. They will go right on Bridge Street to Mulberry Street to loop back to Cushman Park track and finish. The members of the committee to contact are Rob Shields, Heidi Hacking, and Carol Ann Days Merrill. They also can be contacted by email. Sincerely, Carol Ann Days Merrill, Turkey Trot Committee member. Selectman Esposito.
It's a really nice event. Again, it's a great way to start Thanksgiving, and they do a really nice job of organizing. I'd definitely like to support it.
I happen to agree with Selectman Espandola. It's a great project, and it's been going on a couple years now, so I have no problem with it.
And I also cannot speak highly enough of the Turkey Trot organization, which was started by alumni from Fairhaven High School. With 4 girls who started the Turkey Trot, and now it's grown to have a big, huge committee and grown on to bigger and incredible fundraising effort, so, this is something that is kind of becoming a staple now in Fairhaven on Thanksgiving Day, so, is there a motion to support?
Like, I'd like to make that motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, passes unanimously. Our first appointment is at 7 PM, we're a little bit before that.
Mr. Chairman, the folks at Manny's Service actually submitted their site plans this morning. A cursory glance from Wayne Foston indicated that he thought everything was there. So I haven't heard whether or not they've been contacted. So I don't know, it's possible nobody's gonna show, and it's possible we don't even need the hearing. So I figured I would leave it to your discretion.
Well, how's the board feeling that? They've submitted their plans, so
You know,
they may come in, they may not.
I'd like to hear personally, from Mr. Foster and Mr. Roth, the two have reviewed the plans so far to make sure that they're comfortable with it, but I don't see any concerns with not, the hearing is,
I could always table the hearing to the 19th, along with the other
maybe we should wait
We'll
till
wait
7
till-
and see if anyone does show up, but if they don't, we could table it and, get some input from them first,
Okay.
before, if that's all that he had that was due,
That's all
and
he had to
and
do.
he did submit it, would be a moot point.
I don't have a problem tabling it if he submitted what he's supposed to.
All right, so we'll just make 7 o'clock if we,
Yeah, right.
and our hearing at 7:15? Is that all?
has been tabled to
That is-
September 19th at
September.
7 o'clock.
September 19th at 7 PM.
Now, do we need to actually make a motion to do that, or,
We should, yep.
okay,
So is there a motion, well, we'll wait, we'll just,
okay.
We can wait out the whole thing.
yeah, we can
Right.
maybe go through a few items of correspondence and,
Actually,
which is the discussion of the agricultural rules and regulations. We really thought that, and talking to Ann, that it would be really helpful to have our town administrator here for that discussion,
Okay.
for the agriculture, since he'll be the person,
And moreover, Mr. Cox, our harbor master, couldn't trace back the document to a Word. It seems like we just kept editing a PDF version of it. So now in order to really do the track changes and everything like that, so we know the final document we're working with, it either has to be located or put back into a Word document. So there's just been a little lag there. We're gonna, like you said, we wanted to have Mr. Reese review it.
so that's tabled to September 19th, or we don't have a date on that yet?
September 19th would probably be the date, but I'll have it run by Mr. Reese.
All right, so we'll just,
That one we could do right now, right? We could just make a motion to table that one until it's, I'd like to make a motion to table E1 agricultural rules and regulations until we hear from Mr. Reese.
Second.
motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. So, while we have time here, our next meeting is, as we've heard many times tonight, is scheduled for Monday, September 19th, 2016 at 6:30 PM. Selectman Esposito, do you have anything that you'd like to bring up?
Well, it's just that we won't see everyone before Labor Day, so I want to wish everyone a happy Labor Day. Hope they enjoy the weekend, and this incredible weather we've had all summer continues for a little longer. And I did want to mention, since we have a minute, that I did have an opportunity to meet with George Broughton, who came to visit after his long trip across the country, and the future Lord Fairhaven. If you don't mind, I'll just take a minute to read through something that Carolyn Longworth sent over to me, a little bit about his history. And I know some of it was covered in the paper, but I thought it might be helpful. So he says, she said, let me find this here. I apologize. Maybe we can move on to something else. I'm gonna have to find the right email for it, but I'd like to read from it.
Sure.
And I just also wanted to just acknowledge, if you look around here, the handicap signage that's up and the automatic doors that are working in place and out front as well. Do we have something new out front, or is that?
No,
Just here.
just
Just these
those
two? Okay, so that's, it's nice to see that in place, but I'll go over to you, and if you can come back to me in a minute, I'll find this.
All right, Selectman Freitas?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think in the future, as a selectman, I know we can't discuss it tonight, but we should have some sort of a discussion on, I know right now there's a couple boards that, I don't wanna say they're not getting along, but they're not playing nice with each other, I guess we could say. And there's a lot of, back and forth between some of these, and I think that we should, definitely get a clear-cut plan of what's going on with some of these, but I'm talking in generalities right now, because I can't get too into it, because it's not on discussion, but I think it's something that we should put on for a future meeting, that we actually, if there's somebody doing work in an area, that we should actually know a little bit about it, what's going on too, because I know the Board of Public Works does the parks, but overall, we oversee all that stuff, so at least we should be notified of some things, so that we don't have different people calling. I don't know if you guys have gotten phone calls, or if you know what I'm talking about, but there's a little bit of a back and forth with some stuff like that. The other thing that I think that we ought to have too is some sort of, a discussion with with the board members also about, when it's time to, if there's a press release or something that's going to come out. Everybody has the First Amendment rights, everybody can speak, everybody can say what they want, but sometimes the message isn't exactly what it's being put out there. It's, somebody's taken it upon themselves to send a message out that, we didn't, not the message that we're putting out there, and we're the ones supposed to be putting it out there. So I think there should be some discussion about that. I mean, my thing is now is, if I'm asked something, I'll say that they go to Mark. He's the voice of the town, and after Mark, it would be Charlie, because he's the chairman of the board. And then Bob, then myself, and then whoever else it would be. So I think that that's something that needs to be discussed. If somebody wants to talk to the press all on their own, let them have it. But as far as town official or whatever else, I think it could cause more problems than good.
Do we have a policy? I thought we created a policy on press releases had to go through anything to do with something that is in the guise of the Board of Selectmen, through the Board of Selectmen.
I don't know if there's
It's
a
not
press
release
release
or it's social
policy.
media.
It was anything signed has to be approved by the selectmen. If it is what I think, it's just, that came from a selectman /town administrator envelope. But it was a collaborative effort with the Board of Public Works superintendent. So,
Well, maybe we could put something, maybe if you wanna think of the wording for that for our discussion.
Yeah,
And have the input.
again, I'm not trying to silence anybody. That's not my point in any respect. But when there's mixed messages coming out about an issue that, that's out there, it should be the message that we're putting out there. If we're gonna be asked about to discuss it later, it should be the message that we're discussing, not something entirely different. Because then that leads to problems too.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess, I'm not sure exactly what it is these issues are, but I agree with, Selectman Murphy, if you can define the intent of an agenda item, I'd be glad, to go through those things. I know they seem to fit into, policies, and, and on the boards and committees, I think one of the things we did discuss about in the past was having kind of a charter or of what each board and committee's functions are, and that might help some of what you're talking about. I'm not sure it will, but we I think Mr. Reese was, advocating for that as well himself, so.
That's sort of my thing is, he's the head of the town, we shouldn't have going around, and he's the one dealing with all this stuff right now, so, that's,
Good point.
okay. So that was my 2 minutes there.
Did you find your letter, or do you want me to?
I did, I'm sorry about that, the delay here, just, so she said, in a nutshell, Roger's daughter, Kara, married Urban Broughton, a British engineer who designed the town's water and sewer system for Rogers After Rogers died, they moved back to England. Broughton became distinguished in Parliament and was going to be honored by having a barony bestowed on him. He died before that happened, but the title was then bestowed on his son, Huddleston Broughton, who became the first Baron Fairhaven. His mother, Cara, was called Lady Fairhaven. They chose the name for the barony from Cara's beloved hometown. Huddleston Broughton didn't have children, so his title passed to his brother, Henry Rogers Broughton, who became the second Baron Fairhaven. After his death, the title passed on to his son, Aylwin Broughton, who is the current third Lord Fairhaven. He has been here a few times over the years and is in his 80s. Aylwin's eldest son, James, is married to Sarah Broughton, who was here this past week with her son, George, a cyclist who is 19 and a student at Edinburgh University. So after Aylwin dies, James will be the third, the Lord Fairhaven fourth, and Sarah, who was here yesterday, will be Lady Fairhaven. After James dies, George will be the fifth Lord Fairhaven. So there's some lineage there, but I think what was interesting is that this is, she also told us that this is the only case where a town in the United States is named, this lordship is a barony, what they called it. But so it was an interesting tie there. But it was very interesting to meet with them and hear about that. So.
Do you think there's any chance that we can invite them to a homecoming or something so people can hear the story or get
Well,
to
they are from England, so I don't know that they get here that often, but, and of course, he'll be going back to the university now to study. He'll be in his sophomore year. His godmother was here with him. She's from she's from England, but she also visits with her family. She's come to Newport. There's a tie. She said that her, her grandfather, I guess, was a great-great-grandfather, I think, was making his money in finances in New York at the same time Henry Huddleston Rogers was making all his money up here. So they became very wealthy and would summer in Newport. And that's where they actually stayed when they were here. But it was very interesting to meet with them and find that connection there. So I just wanted to, let you know what that was about.
Thank you. We should probably see if we can invite them sometime.
Yeah, no, I mean, that'd be great.
Ann's like, one more thing.
There was a visit from one of the codes, and there was a presentation at the library last fall, I thought it was. I can't remember, but Lord Fairhaven was here in 2004 for the centennial of the church. They had the banquet, they had lecture series for construction of the church, some of the stained glass windows, the carvings, and there were several. I was new to Fairhaven then, and I went to all of them, and the dinner. It was fascinating.
Maybe we could have some invitation sent out at some
There's
point when we have
occasions.
something.
Or if they know they're gonna be,
It does come.
Okay.
if they know they're gonna be in the area again, I guess that would be the,
Sure.
you know.
We can make a special time.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get Beth to pay for it, right? Yeah.
Sponsor it, at least.
The sponsor?
I'm sorry, I can't remember what you said.
I said that you'd sponsor them coming out. Yeah, why not? Yeah, right.
Don't be fun without it.
Okay.
All right, I just have a few things that I'm sorry, Selectmen, so is that?
No, that's good, thank you.
I just want to thank Kelly, who is recovering right now from a work-related situation, for the open house that she had. That was very well attended. I only made a brief appearance, but I was able to go and see the many people that were there. Yes, I am. But it was nice to see a lot of people coming out to support our animals and support our ACO and our animal shelter. So I thank her for that. And also to remind everyone that Labor Day weekend also brings the best feast in America to Fairhaven. That's the Our Lady of Angels Feast, which will be happening on Saturday, this coming Saturday from 5 to midnight, Sunday from noon to midnight, and Monday from 12 to 10 p.m. with a procession at 1 p.m. that the Selectmen are invited to process in. I'm one of the people who are very fortunate to carry the statue of Mary, but it's always good to see when I come around the corner face of the Selectmen. Give us some moral support, so, invite everyone to that. And malassadas, good Portuguese food, caserla, entertainment, it's gonna be an event not to miss. So, I encourage everyone to go out there this weekend.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, can I remind you also to remind everyone at home that school starts tomorrow?
Yes.
Traffic's gonna be increased, leave a little bit earlier.
Thank
Kids
you.
starting out.
It's a
Yeah,
good one.
school starts in the morning.
Mhm.
Our freshmen came to Fairhaven High today, so they started for our general school to start. And, yes, just please, you know, traffic may be a little bit more in the mornings now, but just remember that, you know, we all went to school one day, and, we all can have a little patience for the extra 5 minutes that it may take.
Give a shout out to my daughters with a ha-ha. They will go back to school tomorrow. Lucky them.
Enjoy the early bedtime, kids.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes, yes.
Some people say it's the most wonderful time of the year, so. Well, our 7 PM hearing is also, it's now 7:02, so is there a motion to table the hearing due to the fact that they will hear the response from our building inspector and town planner?
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Here now we'll call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimously. And just before I end tonight, there is a, oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, just, we had the other one, just to make it official. I know there was an
sure.
agreement.
Yeah,
It was, right, it was
Yeah, you wanna make that
already agreed.
official?
Yeah, I'd like to make
Motion
a,
that we're tabling the 7:15 public hearing to September 19th at 7 PM.
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing now we'll call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. And we have a notification from Bill Roth on the, just give me a recap, Ann.
It looks like it's an indemnification for a contractor and,
DNC Construction Company.
yeah.
So this is something that Bill Roth, this is a general liability that he does several times throughout the year.
It's possible that that's one of those documents that the chairman has been granted the authority to sign any and all, but just in case. I'm
Just in
sure.
case, it's always good to make a, have a motion for the chairman to sign this document for Bill Roth.
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. And I'm signing in blue pen for Bill Roth.
Never mind.
All right, there's anything else?
So we do need to sign, or just him?
I think it's just the chairman.
Just the chairman? Yep, I did.
Oh, you're giving it to her. I thought you were giving it to me.
Also. Okay, well, that being said, we have nothing for our executive session, and pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 21. So is there a motion to adjourn, and just motion to adjourn, I guess?
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. We don't have to do a roll call vote for that one, right? Just making sure.
That's a record, as far as I.
So that's a quick one.
Wow.
I think that's quickest meeting I've ever been
How you
to.
doing, Ronnie?
Meeting, I sure have a lot of questions.
Oh, right.
I just couldn't get you guys.
Okay.
I thought I had my hand over.
Well, you know that
That fan.
AC is on.
No, it's not.
The
Fan
fan.
back there.
This guy might as well be talking to himself.
Oh, was I too quiet? Sorry about that.
These all day.
We're gonna get our microphones.
Mr. Kennedy